Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're breaking down the life-changing ideas from Tim Ferriss's The 4-Hour Workweek. It's a book all about escaping that 9-to-5 grind and, actually building a life you're excited to wake up for.
You know the drill, right? From the time we're kids, society pretty much hands us this blueprint for life. 20 years of school, 40 years of work, and then, if you're lucky, you get a couple of decades to relax and retire. It's what you'd call the deferred life plan.
But here's the thing. Is that really the only option we have? This whole explainer is going to challenge that idea and explore if maybe, just maybe, there's a much better way to live, starting, right now. So let's kick things off with the first big idea. What exactly makes waiting for retirement such a fundamentally flawed and risky strategy?
The book makes a really powerful point here. If your whole plan is just to suffer through a job you don't like for some payoff way down the road, you're not just delaying your happiness. You're basically gambling away the most energetic, capable years of your entire life.
And think about this for a second. That freedom you're working so hard for, it's pretty much a coin flip. With over half of all people over 65 living with some kind of disability, there's a very real chance you won't even have the health to enjoy all that money you saved up.
Okay, so if the old model is a bust, what's the alternative? Well, this brings us to the absolute core idea of the book, and it's something that completely redefines what it even means to be rich.
Let's play a little game. Let's compare two people. We've got Jane, who makes $100,000 a year, and Mike, who makes $50,000. So, who's richer? I mean, based on the raw numbers, it seems obvious, right? But that is not the whole story.
To really understand who's got the better deal, we have to shift our thinking away from what's called absolute income to something the book calls relative income. Basically, it measures your money against the two things that matter most, your time and your freedom.
So, let's look at Jane. She's working a grueling 80-hour week in a super demanding job. When you actually do the math, that six-figure salary breaks down to just $25 an hour.
Now let's look at Mike. He's earning his $50,000 working just 20 hours a week from his laptop. Well, that puts his hourly wage at $50. That's double Jane's in a quarter of the time.
So here it is, the full picture. Not only is Mike earning double per hour, but he has total location freedom. He could be living somewhere like Thailand, where his cost of living is just a fraction of Jane's. With way more time and total freedom, Mike is, without a doubt, relatively far, far richer.
This new way of thinking about wealth is awesome, but it's kind of useless if you don't have the tools to make it happen, right? So let's look at how you can stop trading all your time for money and start reclaiming your life.
Our culture, for some reason, loves being busy. We wear it like a badge of honor, bragging about our 70-hour work weeks. But the goal isn't just to be busy. It's to be productive on the things that actually move the needle. Being busy on the wrong stuff gets you absolutely nowhere.
And this brings us to a really critical difference. Being efficient versus being effective. So efficiency is about doing a task well, but effectiveness is about doing the right task in the first place. You have got to focus on being effective before you even start worrying about being efficient. So how do you get more effective? Well, one of the most powerful tools out there is something called Pareto's Law, but you probably know it as the 80-20 rule. It's a really simple idea, but it has huge implications for pretty much every part of your life. It basically means that a small fraction of your efforts, we're talking about 20%, is probably producing 80% of your results. So your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to figure out what that vital 20% is, double down on it, and then be absolutely ruthless about eliminating the rest. Now, once you've cut out all the unnecessary junk, you can move on to an even more powerful strategy for creating freedom. Using your money to literally buy back your time through outsourcing.
Let me just ask you this. Say your time is worth $50 an hour, and you can pay someone $20 to do a task you don't really enjoy, like mowing the lawn. What's the logical choice here?
The key here is a total mindset shift. You are not spending $20, you're buying an hour of your life back at a huge discount. This frees you up to focus on that 20% that really matters, or to just, enjoy your life. But just remember, the golden rule is to eliminate a task first, before you ever think about outsourcing it. So you've done it. You've cut the waste, you've bought back your time, you've achieved this freedom. But this leads to a surprisingly difficult question. Now what do you do with all of it?
See, getting rid of all the work and stress you hate doesn't automatically fill your life with happiness and rainbows. A lot of the time, it just leaves an empty space, a void. And trust me, Doing nothing isn't the goal. You'd be bored out of your mind. The real goal, the whole point of this entire process, is to fill that void with life. Use your new freedom for continuous learning, for growth, for pursuing things that genuinely light you up, whether that's mastering an instrument, helping your community, or building something incredible.
And that leaves us with one final, really powerful question to think about. If you had to design a life so fulfilling that you would never want to escape from it, what would you do differently starting today?